was a big deal for me because I had to call Bron, and tell him, like, I apologize for being that young player that wanted to everything at his fingertips, and I wanted everything to be at, my threshold. I wanted to be the guy that led us to championship. I wanted to be the leader. I wanted to be all that, and the responsibility of being the best player in the world and leading a team is something that's not meant for many people. And Bron was one of those guys that came to Cleveland and tried to really show us what it's like to win a championship, and it was hard for him. And sometimes getting the most out of the group, it's not the easiest thing in the world. And like I said, only few are meant for it or chosen for it. And I feel like the best person to call was him because he's been in this situation. He's been there with me, where I've been the young guy of being a 22-year-old kid and wanting everything. Wanting everything right now. Coming off an All-Star year starting, and then this heck of a presence comes back, and now I got to adjust my game to this guy. And you take it personal, but at the end of the day, he just wants what's best, and he has a legacy he wants to leave, and he has a window he wants to capture. So I think what that brought me back to was like, all right, how do I get the best out of this group of the success they had last year, and then helping them realize what it takes to win a championship.
What are LeBron's?
Oh, relax. relax. We're good. All right, relax, okay? What's up? One question at a time, because when you bring up Bron, of course, it brings extra credit.
What did you say
when did you call him?
I called him after the Orlando, after he came into Orlando when we were in Brooklyn.
What did he say to you when you talked to him?
Well, obviously, our conversation was private, but I gave you a great...
Okay.
What's good, y'all? It's King Tease. Welcome back to Throughout the Association. And wow, that was something I was not expecting last night. But for everybody who don't like LeBron, question him as a leader, says he holds young guys back, which can be somewhat true sometimes. But for those of you who like to make those arguments, it's going to be a rough day for you because your biggest example, which would be Kyrie Irving leaving him, as you guys can see, last night after Boston beat Toronto, Kyrie Irving admitted that he called LeBron and apologized. Now, there's a lot you can say about this. There's a lot you can say about Kyrie, but it takes a lot to admit when you're wrong and to do that publicly, because Kyrie didn't have to say this. He didn't have to say that it's not as easy as he thought, and he didn't have to tell everyone that he called LeBron and apologized. So this was very mature of Kyrie, and this is real leadership. So I got nothing but respect for what Kyrie said, but I do wonder, if I was a teammate of Kyrie, how would you feel about him saying this? This almost like another slick shot at his team, but I told y'all 2 months ago after a Celtic Trailblazer game, and Kyrie Irving after the game, he said Boston need that 15-year veteran that's been through it. And I said, ain't that why you went to Boston? To be that guy? I told y'all then that Kyrie Irving missed LeBron. That was obvious to me. But the funny thing about this story is what LeBron was doing, or who LeBron was with, when he got the call. Now, according to Joe Varden, Kevin Love revealed that LeBron got Kyrie called while LeBron was at dinner with Kevin Love, because the Cavaliers were recently in LA. Kevin Love said LeBron looked down at his phone and he showed us, and he was like, I wonder what he wants. Then, of course, LeBron called Kyrie back later to talk to him privately, and he was very appreciative that Kyrie reached out. Now, ain't that a coincidence? I don't know. It sounds like they adding the extra sauce on it. What you guys think about this? And definitely subscribe.